Okay, I believe we are live. So,
Oh, yeah.
welcome to Crit- Critical
Beautiful.
Quests. And this, your Crit Quest, the Red Hand of Doom. We are in our third episode where I have with me our wonderful players. Mike, if you want to introduce yourself first, and let's go around like we usually do.
Awesome. My name is Mike. I am playing Caleb Anubis. He is the half-orc hexblade warlock of the dragon god Bahamut.
I am Skylar. I am playing Voltai Squall Talon, a Wood Elf, Drake Warden Ranger, and Cleric for Bahamut.
My name's Isaiah. I'm playing a half-elf paladin by the name of James Valmora.
Name's Cody. I'm playing Thelgor, the dragonborn barbarian of the old gods, and all-around sweet boy.
All around sweet boy indeed. Okay.
When he's not munching
Bundle of
heads.
joy. Just a bundle of joy.
Absolute bundle of joy. Let's see. How's my volume? Are we good?
Good, yeah.
You sound great.
Beautiful. Okay. And with that, let's get into tonight's episode after Mike. Getting ahead of myself. Mike, do the announcements really quickly. Almost skipped right
Awesome.
into things.
Now you're good. So shout out and thank you to the music composers and producers, Tabletop RPG Music, Travis Savoy, Francis Bonin Music. Shout out to Maddie, doing the Lord's work, working hard. And I want you guys to follow us on YouTube, on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and Twitch. Be friendly and be positive.
Indeed. You can also find us on our socials, which are listed down below. You'll see our names flashing back and forth. I also DM on Start Playing. So if you want to do a game of Dungeons and Dragons, if you like what you see, book me on there. That's where you can find me. And you can find all these lovely players at their socials below them as well. And with that, let's get into the Red Hand of Doom. Last we left off, the party, newly formed, had journeyed from the city of Brindle and met their new companion, Thelgor, in a heated battle with a marauding band of hobgoblins. These hobgoblins waylaid them on the journey to Caleb Anubis's home, and as they were making their way to Drellin's Ferry, they were beset by archers along the side of the road. They quickly did battle, dispatched them after a very vicious encounter, and interrogated one of the hobgoblins. They found a victim of these hobgoblins that was set upon a long since ruined building. And after conversing with this massive new figure within their party in the form of Thelgor, they set their way once more to Drellin's Ferry, laden with things to sell. Speaking of, you guys, did anybody write down all the stuff that you took? You guys, I think you guys intended to sell all the hobgoblin gear and then never did.
Oh yeah, because it was in the cart with the body.
I'll say,
Which they took. The guards took it away.
yeah, you're not sure what they did with that. Might help them, might not. Hobgoblins are roughly human-sized, but you guys had a conversation within Drellin's Ferry, meeting up with Caleb Anubis' father, a renowned smith within the town, as well as a partner to one of the creators of the town, which was the original dwarf bridge that spanned across the river, and a family of dwarves that's lineage has essentially gone down to Morlin, your father's partner in crime, where they basically craft whatever crazy stuff they can, sell it to traders and the town, and move on that way. And as you did business with them, talked with your father, talked with the guard Captain Sarana, as well as the town speaker, you found out that this presence of hobgoblins was more trouble than you had originally anticipated. The town speaker and Captain Sarana brought you into the toll house, and a conversation ensued about the keep where you had recently found out Thelgor was from, Vrath Keep. This keep being beset by hobgoblins, you unfurled the mystery and are aware of this presence within this once stronghold to Thelgor's family. You were told that a woodsman by the name of Jor would potentially help you, someone that knows the forest and is capable, and could potentially be a guide and an ally. You gathered your things, gathered your wits, and prepared yourselves for the journey ahead. And there you went, into the Witchwood. A terrifying forest of, I would say, Caleb, you would know this forest is rather scary to the townsfolk around Drellin's Ferry. A lot of folks are superstitious about what's potentially in it. Whispers of monsters, wyverns, all sorts of crazy things that have appeared. And on your way through the Witchwood, along the Dawn's Way, the main road that weaves through even this part of the forest, you were beset by a massive 20-foot tall bear. This bear,
Huge.
Yeah, to any other party would potentially throw you around like rag dolls, but not to Thelgor, who grappled with the beast, subduing it to the ground while you all pummeled it with your spells, martial capability, and did away with a rather massive threat. And as you guys collected yourself, you continued the journey and have now begun to make your way as the landscape grows more and more swampy. The trees themselves grow less coniferous, and the air begins to heat up, and you feel yourself starting to sweat more and more. This is becoming what is known, and what you have come to know as, the Blackwater. A swampy region within the center of the Witchwood that sprawls out for a number of miles before breaking, and it seems like Jor himself has decidedly made his home along the path here within the outskirts of the Blackwater. Your feet begin to sink through mud as you trudge through with your packs, your preparation, and I believe that's where we left off. You guys had just gotten to the break-off point in the woods to get to Jor's, correct?
Yeah, we just teared the bear's head off and called it a night, more or less.
Yeah, I do remember the Blackwater intro at the end of the session.
You guys see the ancient trees that poke out of puddles and collections of mud that rise up, and the once dry dirt and land is now marred with small depressions of mud and things you have to trudge through. Thankfully, you have an individual amongst you who begins to take the helm in the form of Voltai, who even in his armored form seems to guide you perfectly through to where none of you seem to have to trudge through or drudge yourself and trudge through the moors here within the Blackwater. As you continue along for roughly 3 or so more hours, it's difficult going, and you are careful as you move along to avoid any threats that would pop out, alligators, any swamp-born creature like snakes, which, again, with Voltai, easily avoided. And as you grow closer and closer, checking the map, making sure, referencing your position, ensuring the trail is what you've... And it is a wild trail. The only markers you see, almost like bands of like yellow cloth that have been taped, or not even taped, but wrapped around trees sturdily. And it's like every quarter mile or so, and you really have to look for them. It seems to be this like trail that you guys are following along. And the only reason I'm not even asking for checks is because you have Voltai, who...
We cannot become lost except by magical means.
Indeed. Amazing ranger feature. You eventually curve around a series of trees, a collection of swampy forests that mound up, and as you curve around, you see before you a sign that is carved, like you see carved in common, it says "No trespassers." And you see the outline beyond a couple of trees, kind of hidden, well hidden within the swampland here. A very sheltered cabin that is covered in greenery and lichen, moss that has overtaken the building to no avail to whoever lives inside, for you do see a gentle glow of some sort of dim firelight within the interior that comes out of one of the rather dark windows. And yeah.
Are there any, like, can I hear any wildlife kind of nearby?
Make a perception check.
While he's looking around, Thelgor just leans in close to the "No trespassing" carved in the tree, looks really thoughtfully at it, and goes, "What that say?"
God damn it. I see no animals. I rolled a natural 2 for a total of 8.
So Caleb will just look at Thelgor and it says "No trespassing."
So we leave?
So we leave? We gotta go now.
No.
That's funny. Let's see here. There we go. Okay. Had to fix Cody's thing there. The Discord thingy was showing. Okay. Yeah. You make a perception check. You're at the forefront of this party anyways, at the marching order, and you're looking forward. You see this sign, and how close are you intending to get? In fact, if you guys want, I'll pull up the map.
Yeah. We like maps.
We do indeed like maps. Okay. And then if you want to check out the stream, Mike, and just...
I already have it up.
Beautiful. Okay. Yeah. Voltai, you and James are at the front of the group. You mainly leading the charge, and you see the sign right here. on my pin here.
Well, perhaps it's best that we make our presence known. Could be traps.
Yeah, I think I stepped like in line with the sign, but not exceeding beyond it, as to try to at least come off as mildly respectful.
And you hear multiple dogs that bark out loud, and it is revealed that there are seemingly multiple guardians to this abode that appear.
Well then.
And they're just... They're like... These like thick jowled mastiffs that have muscles, hunting dogs, if you will.
Let's say Caleb walks up and stands right behind Volte.
Okay, you begin to follow your companions up. Here.
Angry puppy.
Try not to kill
What was-
anything just yet.
Best to announce our presence then.
Hello!
there!
I think using thaumaturgy, I'll make my voice louder for a moment. Not yell, but just like call out, hail, one of the woods.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys call this out, and you hear like a faint patter of footsteps that almost like stops and continues. And as you're sitting here waiting, you all begin to notice more about your surroundings. You're looking at the dogs, which cause you to like look around. You see to your left, further out past what's available on the map, you see what looks to be a kind of wetlands of like a dark bayou or some sort of lake here. And yeah, it's just covered in moss and old trees that are floating. You guys are sitting on like a patch of land where this could support a house of some sort. So, you know, that's to be said here. But you see the dogs are all like in place, just waiting for you to cross the line. And as you call out, you see the door opens. Dang it, I thought I saved Jor. I think I saved Jor on the wrong thing. I was in a different campaign today. Dang it, okay. You see a man step out on the porch, or the stairs leading down, and he kind of just positions himself with a crossbow, his head up. What can I do for you?
We're from Drellin's Ferry. Looking for someone named Jor.
He kind of licks his molars and spits on the ground. Yeah, you found him? Who's asking?
Just a couple of adventurers seeking to crush the hobgoblin uprising. Could use your help.
Hobgoblins? I can't fucking stand them. Wood's rotten with them. Been battling them for the past week or so. Taking about 10 of them out myself.
More than 3.
Well, it seems we have something in common. Perhaps
Conniving
we can help each
bastards.
other.
Seems there's no end to these fuckers. And he just spits. This very, very vulgar woodsman speaks to you. He kind of wipes his nose. Oh. Good lord, I like swallowed spit. Whew. Wrong tube.
Getting a little too into character.
I know. Good lord.
The character just starts choking on his own spit.
You have to give him the Heimlich maneuver. He's like, oh, thank you. No,
Yeah, I'm not. Got to call off the dogs first.
I'm your man. What are you looking for? What do you want my help for with these?
Well, the townspeople said you know the area best. We seek to find their leadership, dismantle them from within.
I don't know nothing about no leaders, but I know I've seen some warg riders in trouble. These troublemakers are all over, especially along the Dawn's Way. If you're going to be following the road, you're liable to wind up minced by them. That's why I've been taking the forest and making the. Yeah.
Actually, we were thinking something along the lines of like small contingent we can follow back to where they're coming from.
Right. So what do you want me as a guide or something?
Any help you could offer would be much appreciated.
Alrighty. He kind of strokes his chin. You guys, after this talking, get a better look. The sun is going down at this point, but you see that basically you see that he's got this like dark black hair, a bushy beard that is roughly trimmed, this like hairstyle that comes back into this tight braid, but it's covered by this kind of shallow helm, and he's got like bits of kind of almost like a half plate on. Very, very well armed. It seems that to be living out here during all of this, he seems to be very capable. Right, alrighty. I want 5 gold a day. 10 if you got a mind to go someplace dangerous, which that's what it sounds like.
Sounds reasonable.
How much to update our maps?
It depends on what's on your maps. And you see the dogs. Heal! And he snaps his fingers and they like look at him and begin to like maneuver their way under the porch, under the bottom of this like raised house, and kind of heal. He motions for you guys to come closer.
Caleb starts walking towards the door.
Hazardous, are we?
Just don't step in the water. I think your friend's got the right idea. And he kind of nods towards Voltai as you guys approach. And he holds out his hand. Depends on what's on the map.
So I reach into my pack and pull out the map that I have of the area. It's probably just basic, with like town points located, not anything like cheat sheet style X marks the spot type little notes that he may have information about, and kind of unravel it to him.
I think this is the one I gave them. I'm not gonna lie, these are the forest trails. They're ones I use and don't use sometimes. Then again, when you're skilled in the way of maneuvering around these parts, you don't really need trails from time to time. That said,
I found that to be so as well.
Don't stick to the roads. It's a fool's
I'm
errand.
curious, when was the first hobgoblin you encountered in these parts?
It was several. They tried to come up on my property here. The dog started barking. When I looked out and saw they were wielding blades and fire and intending to come here, I knew they wouldn't get very far. This place is damp as hell. You're not gonna start a fire very easily out here. So I made myself scarce. I went into the back, prepared myself, and took them out one by one.
When was this?
Week and a half ago. I've just been
And before then,
tracking them.
no trouble. Besides, of course, the wilderness.
I mean, the Witchwood's a dangerous place, but I'm pretty comfortable here. My kind of lifestyle. Pretty solitary man. But other than that, no. I think the fuckers are coming out of the worm smokes somewhere along those lines. I mean, that's any logical place where goblins would come out of.
And since that initial attack, no other issues?
Oh, I mean, not here. I led them astray, muddled up the tracks of their companions so that way they couldn't find this place again, and then I began to backtrack their steps. I don't think they were anticipating someone like me. And this is my fucking forest.
Mhm. It would seem as such, and if it would be so, your forest, then you would have the best idea of when they first began encroaching. If you say a week and a half ago, then that heartens me to know that perhaps they have not been organizing for as long as we thought.
I'm pretty far down south. Well, I say a week and a half, that's when I first was made aware of their presence. I'm not always out ranging. I got traps and things set up around here for wild game. I can take care of myself without going too deep into the forest. And trust me, going deep into the forest is how you get yourself killed. I can do
Thelgor,
it.
what was the name of that fortress you're from? Huh?
Wrath.
What?
Wrath.
Yes, Wrath. How far to Wrath? Can you show us on the map?
You guys, I believe you have the location of Wrathkeep. If you go into the Legend Keeper, you guys have been made aware of the location. It
Right, but
is
with this character, I want him to kind of show us, and I want to hear what he says.
absolutely. So let me look
What
here.
also we don't.
Give me just a moment.
I am on the map right now.
So, yeah. He basically says, right, well, I mean, if you had a good guide, get you through the swamp and the Blackwater, we can come out the other side to the forest proper, where it's a little bit drier. Like I said, like I say to most folks, the Blackwater's rough going. It's essentially like what you're gonna find along the Elsie River. I mean, the river branches off and mucks up the whole dang thing, so it gets pretty swampy out here. But if you can get past that, I think you can get to Vrath Keep. It's roughly 8 miles from here, 9 if you're going a normal pace and not trying to, you know, 8 to 9. That's about what I'll say.
So you'd be willing to bring us there?
To bring you there, I mean, if I had to harbor a guess, if they've gotten this far south, and from what it makes you guys make it sound like, they've already potentially taken over that keep. I mean, you got if you got 10 gold to spare, I'm your man. I'm itching to take them out.
Why you spit so much?
I got a wet mouth.
Oh my god, Logan! Jesus, I regret that.
Oh shit! I just thought it would be funnier than him smoking doing tobacco. Just for him to.
Got a wet mouth.
I got
Okay.
a wet mouth. Don't ask about it.
Oh,
I'm gonna
man.
be moving a little bit. You want me to keep my camera on?
Oh, what now?
I'm gonna be moving a little bit. You want me to keep my camera on?
Yes.
Okay.
You could always just walk out of frame. No one's keeping you anchored to your camera.
Got you.
I think you're paused on the stream anyways. It like froze.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody
Give
else
me
is like
one
moving.
sec. I got you. Give me 1 sec.
That do be happening from time to time.
Apologies, folks. Yeah.
Discord table.
Yeah. It's
So over the table, we don't need him to guide us.
But he could be an ally. He said he's waging a war against them.
Yeah, exactly. But he could be an ally in the fight.
Extra
So
crossbow, yeah.
That's what I was
That
thinking over the
being
table.
said-
I was thinking, why not have an additional guy? He might know some little spots, you know?
And you guys were told
Yeah.
that remember the map that Thelgor had, you guys have uncovered that there is a secret trove of riches just hidden under
so
Wrathkeep.
it could be. It could definitely be beneficial to have him. The only reason why I bring it up is because Voltai doesn't spend money. he sits on his pile.
You know
Like
who
the
else doesn't
dragons
spend money?
that he's spent so much time around.
Okay.
So
Thalgor doesn't spend money, doesn't know the value of money, doesn't care about money. So just take Thalgor's money and pay the guy.
Mike, or if I can
Yes.
have, if you guys, if Skylar and Mike can, yeah, I think Isaiah and me are the only ones that are like live right now. Like I can see Isaiah moving around and everybody else is frozen.
That's weird.
Very weird.
oh no.
Very, very weird.
Give me a sec. I'm kind of doing more than one thing right now.
Oh, Skylar's is fixed.
Yeah, I'm still leaning on my face. That was a while ago.
And then, yep, give me just a moment. There we go. And then I just had to refresh it. I'm so sorry, guys. Now I know the solution. Beautiful. Okay, we can see Mike. We can see clearly now. The mic is in frame. Okay. That is bad. I will stop. It's about 8 miles. I have a wet mouth. We've established this. We'll move on. I can guide you. I can be your ally. Whatever you need. I am Jor. I'm back in character. Zoop, back in character.
Yeah. Well, we found our
More
way through the
friends.
woods relatively well thus far, but I will not say no to an ally.
I'll tell you what, I can sure help you. Look, if you're going to Varith Keep, I ain't stupid. You gotta go west out in the big road. Maybe keep 8 miles north of there. And if you're intending me to tag along, I can help you. It wouldn't surprise me one bit if they're holed up there as a stronghold. I mean, it's well fortified. I mean, the most well fortified place you're gonna get around here. Nothing like the city or anything, but it's got walls. It's got a gate. From what I've seen, I've only seen the place once or twice from a distance.
Yeah,
Now,
how's it?
Thelgor, do I have your permission to show our new friend your wonderful scroll case?
You guys
Okay.
know what's on it.
I just want to show our new friend the map. Perhaps the
Caleb is a little suspicious about showing anybody other
Perusing it.
than the four of us anything in that case.
Sorry, I didn't get what did Mike say?
He's
He said
hesitant.
he's a little suspicious.
Yeah,
and
Caleb would be extremely uncomfortable with showing anybody that scroll case that isn't one of the four of us.
It does have very valuable and sensitive information on it.
You could definitely say it to James, but James is gonna try.
Absolutely. What is Thelgor's reaction?
He's hesitant, but he takes it out and hands it to James.
Look, I don't want to pry if y'all don't want me to know something. I mean, as long as it's not gonna get me killed, that's all I care about. I want these fuckers out of my home, my forest. I just want my damn peace again.
And we sincerely trust that. And I think if you were to see this information, it would help you get us in quickly and safely and quietly.
I mean,
there is reason in that.
I intend to do that either way, respectfully. I don't plan on waging a frontal assault on a damn horde.
I have no doubt. But these blueprints are exact. Your knowledge of Wrathkeep is extensive, no doubt. But please, look.
I never have claimed to have extensive knowledge. I've seen the place from a distance. That's what I'm saying. I'm a ranger. I mean, and I haven't ever been invited to. I believe it's the Amarinit. It starts with an A. That's what the family's name is. It's a weird name. And he takes the scroll case and looks at it. Me forgetting to pick up my dice. Blueprints. I'm not exactly a builder. cobbled this shack together, but that was with the help of a buddy of mine. I don't. Yeah, I have no fucking clue what this is. He rolled really low. He's like, is this that architecture stuff? And he kind of rolls it up and hands it to you. This guy is truly, essentially Woodsman Rambo out here fighting hobgoblins, and has no expertise other than killing wild game and the enemies of the state.
I simply thought, with your knowledge of the general surroundings of the area, you could pinpoint a good spot for us to infiltrate the keep.
If you're going to infiltrate the keep, I mean, I can tell you a bit about it. I mean, it's set up atop. There's a section of the forest that rises up. There's hills, and on the side of a hill, there's a particular section they built on. They carved it out, it was almost like a canyon where the rain had washed everything out, and they built the keep on top of that. The forest is below and on top, so a frontal assault means taking the keep on from above, but to scale the side of the cliff below is pretty dangerous. You'd have to have some pretty athletic folks, but it looks like you guys are a capable lot, although you're clad in heavy plate. I don't know about you. He looks at you, James.
And I'm just kind of looking over his shoulder at the blueprints while he's looking at it, and
He's handed it over.
He did. Let's kind of look at it. Maybe my companions can see it if I'm holding it out, and just trying to gauge based off of the blueprints if there is some sort of secret entrance or safer way than scaling the walls.
You guys know that it seems that it is a secret tunnel. You guys had uncovered it is a secret passage that goes down from there seems to be a specific chamber within the back of the keep that there's a tunnel, like a chute that goes down below the floorboards. They adjust, and it'll basically reveal a hatch that leads all the way down, and the vault is spread throughout multiple different kind of sections.
Could we potentially do some sort of group roll?
Well, we don't know how to access that from the outside, though.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. So to do a group roll or something to find out where that is.
My suggestion would be that we get our eyes on the keep and compare to blueprints before we try to guess as to where our entrance will be.
So looking at the keep, because you guys did get blueprints to the keep, following what Jorah's saying, it rises up, and you see that essentially the structure rises up on top of this kind of carved hillside, and on the very top, it's almost like two elevations. You have up here and then down here, and on this upper elevation is where the bridge into the keep takes place, and the keep is roughly, from the blueprints, it seems like maybe like 60, 70 feet up. It would be quite the climb. And not only a climb to the walls, and then that's an additional steep climb from the rock to the top of the walls. It would really depend on your approach. However, you do see there is a particular section that you potentially could climb up that leads into a lower section of the keep that you would potentially assume would be guarded and protected, but if you're trying to be stealthy and climb up, that would be the most obvious place to anybody looking.
I think Volte is probably right. We probably do need to do some type of scouting before we make any final decisions about what we're going to do. But
I'd say let us get some rest and then make the journey in the morning. Once we arrive, we can recon overnight.
Look, I have a guess. If we're going to do this, let's do this right. I'm harboring a guess they're holed up in that keep, but I don't think that's their stronghold. I mean, they live up yonder in the worm smokes. That's what I was saying earlier. But it seems like they got this big war party in the forest. I mean, I've encountered, like I said, almost a dozen. It's been a lot. I think they might have come down the old forest road, or my guess is they came from Skull Gorge. The bridge, the bridge up north. I mean, Skull Gorge Bridge is a narrow passage. If they're wanting to hold down the road, if they're wanting to hold up travelers and traders and all those folk that have gold and things to their name, I mean, that's the place to do it. And sure as hell is the sort of things that these damn goblins would do, you know, is waylay people on a thin pathway.
You said there's approximately 12 of them there.
Not there. I mean, 12 that I've encountered through the forest and managed to fight off.
We can hazard a guess that the numbers will be variable.
Will, you guys were told. I want to do say a full disclosure. You guys were told it could be 50 plus. 50 was the minimum estimation by Whiston, the town speaker of Drellin's Ferry. And Captain Serrana confirmed. She's like, yeah, this is probably a much larger host, which is why they're worried and sent you guys out, because they can't afford to leave the town vulnerable if they need to protect and retreat on the Dawn's Way.
But they said that they were harassing people who travel through. Is that spot the area that they're talking about that needs to be cleared for people to travel?
Wait, can you repeat the question?
So the area that they're talking about where there's upwards of 50, is that the area we need to clear, or are we thinking about Wrath Keep?
I mean, if you're talking, you're saying this above the table. Okay, so if you're saying this above the table, you guys would assume that there's likely a station at the keep, if that's where they're holding themselves up, but likely not all of them are there. And this has been confirmed by Jor and speaking with him, that they seem to be having like war bands and parties that have spread out. So likely not all of them, but definitely a good fraction of them.
Yeah, they've garrisoned the keep. It's manned enough to be imposing.
Indeed. But you guys are imposing as well. Extremely.
So what do you think we should do? Above table, what are we like picking off their war bands piece by piece? What are we doing?
I'm game for that. I mean, that sounds fun as hell. Take them out one by one.
Want to crush.
How attached are you to your home, Theldor? Could always
no one left.
It could always go the way of the dragon, be razed to the ground.
Each of you get 500 experience for convincing him.
Awesome. I would say that the more of them we kill in the middle of the forest, the less of them we have to worry about in the actual keep. So
I'm inclined to agree there.
Jor nods. All right, well, it's getting dark right now. I say y'all are welcome to sleep here for the night. Hole up here. It's going to be rough going if we're going to be diving right into this, but perhaps you folk were exactly what I needed. I've been wondering how I was going to take on these damn goblins, and it's been confusing, rather. I'm one man. It would have been a hell of a fight, so.
I'm sure it still will be.
You can count on it. Come dawn, we'll wake up and get this done. And he kind of opens up the door. Welcome in. And as you guys filter in, Uh,
Got a little mudroom, eh?
it's rough going. I did my best to patch the damn thing together, but you know how it is.
Nevertheless, you should be proud of an abode such as this, so deep in the swamps.
It's difficult. We did our best. Me and my buddy Randall, childhood friend of mine. He's long since dead now, but he helped me with this. One of the best memories I have of the man. And
Sorry
now
for
I
your
get to live
loss.
here peacefully. Most of the time, when there's not hobgoblins trying to fuck up my life.
It's cozy.
It's something these days. And he kind of just goes over to the couch and just slumps down with his crossbow, kind of props it up. So who are you people really? You say you're from Drellin's Ferry, but you don't all look like you're from some sort of town like that. Especially that one. You say you're from Brathkeep? You, some sort of
Yeah.
guard they hired or mercenary? What are you?
Orphan.
He spits inside of his house. You see puddles around. You're like, ugh. This dude spits way too much. You're like, he's like, everything's damp. It doesn't matter. You're like, it matters. It matters. It definitely matters.
Please invest in a spittoon.
What's a spittoon?
He just shakes his head.
This guy, right? Well, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it to y'all. No matter where you're from, these forests are dangerous. Hobgoblins are not. Stick close. Seems like your friend's got the right idea. So between me and him, we should be able to hash this situation out. Hopefully. But
Indeed.
come morning light, y'all best be prepared.
Much appreciated.
And as you guys bed down for the evening,
Where are we? Where do you intend for us to rest for the night?
Come on,
he
typical
points
lizard fashion.
upstairs.
I'm gonna sleep in front of the hearth.
Yeah, I got a couple of mats up there you can use.
That love seat looks really comfortable.
Sometimes I'll let a couple folks from Drellin Ferry, hunters and stuff, come by here, use the cabin. Only folk I trust, though. And,
I think
yeah.
as we start to filter up there, Voltai looks around at the mats placed and seeing the two like kind of open sections of the cabin. He like steps up into the windowsill and like with like a kind of swift motion and does like a bar spin up onto the roof.
You put yourself on top of the roof. And you begin to climb up.
Yeah.
As you do, you see the top of the canopy. It's difficult going. You're like right at the edge of the canopy, and seeing past it is a challenge. What are you looking for?
I am not specifically up here to look for anything specifically, but I figured if I am up here, it will be a little bit easier to see something coming from afar, and also I'm up here to trance.
Okay. You begin to trance, and yeah, all of you one by one collect at the top. Is there anything else?
I don't sleep in a building, so.
Is there anything else you guys would like to do before you bed down for the night?
I'm just gonna curl up on the
Yeah,
warm
give me a
stone.
second.
And then, of course, after my 4 hours of trancing, I'm going to spend 3 hours working out.
Question, Voltaire, do you have guidance?
Yes.
Okay. So I would say that Caleb is gonna, before you go into your actual trance, Caleb is gonna like try to pull Volte aside and ask him to help him with a short little ritual to try and purify this summon scroll.
Okay. Yeah, can do.
You can make an Arcana check if you'd like. He produces this scroll of like, you see like fiendish sigils, but you know the balance between the hells and the heavens is but a mere sliver. And changing the intention could potentially be a small feat or a major one. So go ahead and roll me a Arcana check.
So like I want to have Volte give me guidance, and I'm gonna try to use luck. I'm gonna use my lucky to improve the roll, so I would have advantage on this Arcana check. Am I correct about that
And
thought process?
this is just to let you know, this Arcana check is to find out how you would even do it.
Okay.
So if you want to use resources, you're more than welcome.
Yeah, because we're about to long rest, so I can
Sure.
use it now, and it'll get it right back.
Absolutely,
So,
absolutely.
rolling with a D4 on advantage, yes?
Yes.
Yep.
Guidance is awesome, man. Amazing spell.
First roll is a dirty 20.
Oh,
Let's
nice.
see what we get for that.
It's probably going to do really well.
Yeah, so we're going to do a dirty 20, and I got a +3 to Arcana, so 23.
Oh. A 23. Okay. Fix everybody's camera again. Keeps doing that dang thing. Fix Cody's. Isaiah's staying, but yeah, everybody else is just like having a hard time. 23. Okay, with a 23, you study this. You are quite certain that looking at this, as I said before, there's a distinct difference. Like, you could potentially summon a celestial via this, but to purify the scroll, you would have to have someone who can cast protection from evil and good,
Okay.
or some sort of divine capable individual.
I think that's Voltaire's way of saying him.
Oh Lord.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, over the table, I have that spell. I don't have it prepared right now, but as a cleric, I can prep my spells off of all of the spell list. And protection from evil and good is a first level spell.
And basically that spell allows you to kind of change the juncture between this summon scroll, which is how I'm ruling it in this scenario. Given you guys are a good aligned party, and summoning a hellhound probably isn't something all of you are down with the sickness for.
Yeah,
Well, let me ask
yeah,
you
that
this.
would not be something. No. So, I would
Is Caleb
say
capable of detecting magic?
no. Not he
Okay.
doesn't have that spell.
Gotcha. I'm just seeing if I can drop something to prepare the protection spell.
Okay. But yeah, you guys bed down for the evening, making yourselves comfortable and content with your surroundings as you can be. Voltai, you rest on the top of the roof, trancing and becoming aware of the surrounding swamplands. As your consciousness extends out, you eventually awake and see the darkness before you. The moon hanging above the only light in the sky, and you are made available to work out, which I'm assuming you're just doing like crunches and all sorts of crazy workouts
Yeah.
along those
All,
lines.
all like calisthenics and planking
I'm gonna
and
play
stuff like that.
45 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm doing the same, but indoors.
You guys are making me miss being an elf.
I like sleep, so why would I give it up just to be an elf? Nah, okay.
Your hatred runs deep.
Because elf sleep is baller.
Yeah.
Elf sleep lets you tap into your past lives for like the first 100 years of your life.
It would.
Doesn't do that pretty good.
How much more I could get done if that's all I had to do is unreal. I mean, I would feel.
I mean, I only
But think
get
of the
4 hours of
bonus
sleep, but
fees.
have it feel like full sleep is a big deal.
Oh, that'd be nice. Anyways, moving on from fantasies that might never come true, unless I encounter a genie in my future escapades to ancient Egypt. It'll happen. Don't doubt me. I'll probably get scammed along the way. Someone will come up and be like, "Do you want a basket? $300."
You're like, that's a great deal.
Do you want a tour? Maddie was telling me apparently they in Rome they're like, do you want to tour the Vatican? The Vatican's free. And it's like an actual scam people run.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Vatican free is the biggest lie that should alert people to that.
The day comes to an end. And as you rest here within Jor's cabin, so too does sleep come and the morning rise. As you prepare yourselves for the day, one by one, each of you awake, and the first light of day crests, and in that moment, you hear "king, king, 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 king" as a pot and pan kind of clashes together, and you hear Jor, "Wake up, daisies. We got work to do. Sun's rising, and it's time to get her done." And you guys are hit with like the smell of something really awesome and hearty being cooked downstairs for breakfast, potentially bacon or some other sort of sausage, and eggs potentially. Where he's getting eggs,
I want to say
you're not sure.
that at the first clash of the pan, Caleb pops up and summons the sword, looking around the room.
Breakfast.
Elgor also wakes up violently.
Voltai doesn't wake up violently or come awake with a jolt or anything because he's been awake for the last 4 hours.
You just hear.
He just kind of does like some aerial acrobatic stuff where he like drops off of the roof, grabs onto the vine that's right there, and swings in through the open window with like a quick little backflip, just like way too acrobatic for the armor that
Not
he's
one.
wearing.
Here we go.
Make an acrobatics check.
Yes, let us do so.
Lowry elf action. You must be punished.
You must be funny. 17, yeah, easily enough. You and you are inside. You see Jor is dressed up in like almost like a cooking apron. Just prepare for the day. And yeah, you guys are served a very quick and hearty breakfast. It's not the best food in the world, but it's definitely like forest game and things that he's cooked up. And yeah, he puts on his sling of arrows, readies his crossbow. He's got these like short swords at his side, and seems to be ready to take on the world. Yeah.
The great thing about sleeping in my belt is that I don't need to get dressed or undressed at any point in time.
I know, dude, right?
He's just always in loincloth.
Always ready. Ready for sleep, ready for food, ready for fighting.
You stay ready, you don't gotta get ready.
Stay strapped.
take a shit in the woods, so have to take off your full plate.
Yeah,
Right.
you can just pull your bum flap up and
No,
fucking
Elgor can drop it while he's walking.
shit in a bush. Oh my god, no, don't
He's
do
a horse.
that. The smearing.
I chose a really bad time to eat. I'm not gonna lie. Really bad
Continue our
time.
discussion on Dragonborn's poops and talk about what they're
Just
like.
what?
Big
Just
lizard.
standing there like,
They don't stop.
Elgar, why do you have so many leaves?
Do you guys always talk about shit so much when you wake up?
I feel like it's probably scaly.
Oof, ouch.
I don't want to know that, yo. I'm gonna go outside. He makes his way out. It is now day 3. So, as the third day rises, you guys meet outside, and Jor kind of looks at you all. All right, what's the plan here? We can take the forest trail, like I said. I think if we look, if we're gonna take the forest trail, it's gonna take us twice as long to get to Varath Keep. If Varath Keep's where you're wanting to go, we might need to take the Dawn's Way. There's more of us.
Pick road.
What?
Pick road across Scotland.
Yeah. I mean, it's gonna be dangerous. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. We go on the main road, it's gonna be quicker, and we'll be able to dart off to Varath Keep. But beyond that, if you guys are trying to do escapades out to Skull Gorge or, you know, Skull Creek or anything like that, or anything deeper into the woods, we need to take the forest paths and track them from there.
They specifically asked us to check out Wrath Keep, right? In Drone's Ferry.
They said
I think they wanted us to scout and see what's happening,
yeah,
to
mainly
see what they're doing.
mainly a scouting mission, but if you can slow them down or deal with them, all the better.
So
I mean, ousting them out of a
and-
foothold of theirs would probably be beneficial, but then they wouldn't be that
Hey,
much
guy.
further out.
it got kind of glazed over. I don't think we actually have the Wrath Keep icon on our travel map.
Is it the white dot?
In the Legend Keeper, there's the skull. We see the Skull Gorge, but I can't tell where where Wrath Keep is, whether or not the Skull Gorge is on the way.
Varath Keep. Vraath.
Wrath, yeah, Wrath.
That's like at the bottom. So if you follow the red line along the Dawn's Way, it's like right along the Dawn's Way.
Yeah, we get to Drellin's Ferry, and that's the last one we see.
Yeah, it doesn't carry on from Brindle, where we started.
Give me just a moment. Are you serious?
Yeah.
What?
Oops.
That's why I'm like, well, do we do Skull Gorge first and kind of like ship away at the garrison indirectly, or do we go straight to Wrath?
So if you see
I feel like we
Drellin's-
should chip away, because like smaller contingents, we can pick them off without risking being overwhelmed, and then that way, that's less people to deal with when we actually do make our assault on the keep.
So you guys are actually at the south portion of the map. So to get to Varath Keep, it's going to be roughly, like he said, about 9 miles. Which you guys could get to halfway through the day. Like today. If you're going like directly along the road. That said, if you look where Drellin's Ferry is and then cross along the river, all the way along the Dawn's Way, essentially those two creeks. You see Cold Creek and Swift Creek?
I mean, they're not named, but I assume that's
They're
those
not
two.
labeled as such. But
I
yeah,
don't
there's two
understand
little branches.
Where are you guys looking? That
Travel's
the-
Guide and how to do it.
Yeah, travel guide. Player's Codex Travel Guide.
That's why. If you open up, expand the travel guide, you'll see Witchwood. I just haven't thrown it on the travel guide here. I'll just do that now. Pin existing.
Yeah.
Sorry, y'all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do that.
There.
Do that shit.
That gives you like a more expansive map. I've been like, what? How are you not seeing this? What's going on? It's because you guys are looking in the wrong place.
Whoa.
I might not have told
Is
you.
that where we going?
So yeah, you guys went from Drellin's Ferry. It took you most of the day to get here. And yeah, this is day 3. So, you know, Skull Gorge Bridge is much further past Vrathkeep.
Gotcha.
You're still kind of early on in the journey. Oh, hello.
Gotcha.
What?
Oh.
What? I don't understand. Why did I lose everybody?
Oh no.
Okay, very weird. Give me a moment. There we go. Very weird. Sorry, y'all. But
Okay.
Oh.
Well,
I think we're frozen.
I'll fix it.
I would say that in that case, I mean, if the Skull Gorge is beyond, there's gonna be more there most likely, but it's beyond the Vrathkeep. I suppose along our way to Vrathkeep, we just kind of keep an ear out for any commotion and hunt the commotion down.
Like theoretically, there would be more activity on what would be a larger, more popular road.
But
And
So
thus
if we
more targets.
right, so if we want to take the more popular road, we're kind of volunteering for more enemies.
potentially.
Quick question. The footpaths are, well, that's not a question. These footpaths are an option too, right?
Yeah, I mean, we could go through the wood, through the brush, instead of taking the road. It would take a little bit longer, but we would have less chance of running into an encounter, which is kind of what we're seeking to do if we want to help quell their numbers.
I guess my question above table would be, along the Dawnway, could there be too big of a force that we wouldn't be able to contend with, versus if we take the footpath, there might be a chance for smaller groups. I don't know, just a thought.
Yeah, that's what I was. That's what I was thinking. That like the bigger, more popular roads are gonna have the most likelihood for larger show of force.
Yeah, it's time versus threat, right? Like we can take the road and get there
Because
faster,
the large
but
road would be faster,
not a
but
chance.
more likely to have enemies.
Oh
Or
yeah.
we take the force path and it's better.
I will allow in this moment, if you guys want to make a check, I will say make a general. I will either allow an insight or an investigation check, to try to, you know, determine potentially tactically from Vrathkeep where these patrols might end up, key points that you've been told. You see, as you're looking at this,
Any of us
yeah,
or one of us?
I will say one of you. And this is someone to head the check for all of you. As you guys are
Guess
kind
I
of
got
putting
it
your heads
for
together.
3
Not gonna be
insight.
me.
Say 23.
Well-
Hell yeah.
23 insight?
I
Is
think
what you
that's
said?
what Isaiah said.
No, I said I have. Sorry, I have my best is
Oh.
3 insight.
Oh, okay. I thought you said 23. I was like, what the
Plus
fuck?
3.
All right. I have a +6, so
It's up to you guys.
Well, I have +0 in both, so go.
Hit it.
Not me.
God, I'm rolling like fucking trash. I don't know.
Oh boy.
You guys are looking, Voltai in particular, you are like peering through. You're not sure. This forest is vast. They could be collecting along the roads. They could be using the back ways. It's likely that they're using the roads, but even if they are, they're being very careful. This seems to be a very like guerrilla warfare ambush kind of scenario.
Yeah, we're still we still have the chance to run into them
Oh yeah.
in the backwoods.
So
I say we
Yeah, I
take the
think
backwoods and try to get. I say we take the backwoods just to try to get to the keep and see what we can see from there, and then we'll make the decision about whether we want to double back through the roads or through the foothills again.
fair enough. Yeah, well, from the keep we can probably see their movements and determine whether they take the back road or the backwoods way, or if they take the road most commonly, and then do whichever we see on the way back to the town, to Drellin's Ferry, to take out some more if we run into some more, just to try to help eliminate some of the garrison for when they eventually try to attack or we try to siege.
okay. So the intention is to follow the forest.
Yes.
Yes.
Jor nods. All right, it's gonna take us a little longer. We'll do our best. So, let me know. I'm gonna need a few things from you now. So,
Word.
okay. Cautious. So, you guys can go fast-paced, normal-paced, or slow-paced. If you go slow-paced, basically it'll allow you to have stealth checks and roll perception checks with advantage. But you will go at half the travel pace that you usually would. Which thankfully, because of the forest and everything, and you have 2 rangers with you that can guide you through easily, that is only half, not quartered. You could go normal pace, which would be your normal walking speed, 30 feet, and that's going to get you, as far as, you can for the typical day, which is about 24 hours for the day. And if you go fast, you could double the speed, effectively covering more distance in less time. It's still going to wear you out. You can only travel so much a day without being completely and utterly shot. But it's going to accelerate the timetable to where you could get there potentially earlier and capitalize on the rest of the day, depending.
I think we want to try to find folk along the way, and that would be kind of hard to do if we're rushing to the keep. You guys, what do you guys think about like just going normal speed?
Yeah, my vote is
Keeping
normal.
an eye out.
I'm good with normal.
Even if it takes a little bit longer, we were already kind of intent on stopping the day once we arrive off, within visual distance of the keep anyway.
Okay.
So,
Game.
you need us to do. You said we're gonna. I mean, I'm in particular. I'm on the lookout for tracks, for specifically hobgoblin tracks and the tracks of the creatures that they keep with them.
So, on that, what we'll do, you guys begin to journey forward. Jor guides you through the forest, out, following the path. He almost doesn't even look at the bands that were tied around the tree, the various trees within the swamp of the Blackwater, outside of Drellin's Ferry within the Witchwood. And you guys make yourself eventually to the Dawn's Way. As you come up to the Dawn's Way, he's essentially leading you across. He's like, right, we're gonna have to go across Swift Creek. Swift Creek itself, I mean, we're gonna have to cross the Dawn's Way, but it's gonna be really quickly. And he nods over. As you guys begin to cross the Dawn's Way, I need someone to roll me. Roll me a D100.
Ooh. Can I do it, guys?
Sure.
Go for it.
You want a 26 or higher.
Aww.
Oh boy.
71.
There you go.
Beautiful. It seems the road is still, and as you cross, no threats or travelers even come into sight. You have briefly crossed a section, and you see the pathway continues. As Jor leads you through over the coming hours, he points towards game trails and things where the animals would follow, and kind of is showing you how to survive if you guys get split up, and mainly kind of pointing them out to Voltai to make your life easier, given this specific forest might not be something you're familiar with, but you are an expert. So he kind of, there's some cyclops moss, and you see like one of the bits of moss opens just a singular eye and closes. You're just pointing out weird fantasy-esque different bits of lichen and things that you could potentially eat, berries and all sorts of weird things that reside in this terrifying forest. And
Yeah, weird.
what now? What's weird?
Moss blinking at you is weird.
Let's see. Yeah. And eventually you guys make your way to what seems to be Swift Creek. The mud begins to pick up, and you're picking up your feet heavy. Thankfully, it's not as bad as it could be. But as you are making your way through here, you eventually come across what seems to be a break, and you see, you see a break in the trail, for it is a trail, and you see Jor kind of looks forward. Right up ahead is the, there's different sections of the causeway, but it's the only way to cross this section of the river. You guys begin to approach a small section of the river. You can hear the flowing the flowing water even within the swampland here, and the path breaks out, and in the distance you can see what looks to be patches of boards that have been laid on top of like rough wooden stilts.
Muddy sections.
Yeah, rough wooden stilts that are embedded within muddy sections. Very patchwork, just to get to the other side. Nothing like a bridge that would be officious or, official, but definitely just for people that are trying to make their way from like one game trail and not have to completely cross through a decrepit swamp.
A bog.
How far across is it?
Well, give me just a moment. Where you at? As you guys approach, I will allow you all to make a perception check.
Alright. Seem like anything's come through here recently?
Oof. 4.
I can't roll above a 10 on these fucking digidice today.
14.
With a 14, you're looking around. It seems like a massive section in the center has been like burst, like almost like it like was splintered apart. Like there was once patchwork boards that went across and it's been splintered apart.
Hmm.
It very much is patchwork.
Okay, so how far? What's the gap? Like how wide is the river?
Sounds to me like at least like 100. Very shallow but wide, right?
Yeah, it's a wide expanse. It's
Muddy.
about I would say between 50 and 70 feet. I'd have to pull it.
Yeah, wide but shallow river making a ton of mud,
Indeed.
just stippling its way all the way through.
You're looking through. That's what you see. You see a section of it has been bent upwards, and yeah, you can make a.
Is there any indication of what caused it to do that?
No, the water is still the lichen on the trees and the moss that kind of rests on the top of the water still. It seems that
As we start to make our way across, I want to, in particular, in that section where it seems like the bridge pathway has been destroyed, I want to look and see if I can find any tracks in the mud.
make a survival check.
Yeah, we like survival checks.
We do indeed like survival checks.
Delgor is gonna like gently tap one of the planks with his foot because he doesn't feel confident that it'll support.
God damn, bro! What the fuck? I cannot roll above a fucking 10 on the die.
Jor is gonna make one as well. He's gonna help. I'll say Jor will give you the help action because he has proficiency in it.
Okay. All right, let's try to roll again. Okay, there we go. Fuck.
It pays to have another ranger.
How does Voltai feel having to get help from someone else, huh?
It is what it is.
Yeah. Jor's just like, look, tracks around here are hard to spot, regardless, so don't blame him.
24 is good.
Very good. With Jor's help, you and him managed to lock down a series of tracks. They are very large.
Okay.
They seem reptilian in nature. Long, elongated claws that drag across the mud. You see scratches on one of a distant tree, and you like get up to the tree, gouge like an inch deep. And it seems with the 24, the way it breaks up, you see it wasn't torn apart. It was bitten in half.
So either giant crocodiles or T-Rex. What are the claw situation, like claw mark situation look like? We talking like 3? Are we talking 4?
Like that. Almost like...
And how close are the footprints to the damage? Because they have little short arms.
Oh, you do see... Not very. With the damage in the center, you guys are like on the edge of the bank as you're looking at this. You're like, what the fuck? And you see...
Specifically this then, I guess. Is this a quadrupedal or a bipedal creature?
Oops. It seems like a quadruped.
Okay, so we're probably talking giant croc, maybe basilisk, few different kinds of like other larger lizards.
With a 24, I will allow you to make a nature check with advantage. This is like a follow-up. You're like, your survival check has led you to these tracks. You're like looking, you're like, what the fuck? And that's literally what comes out of Jor's mouth. He's like, dear fucking God. And he's like,
well,
yeah.
I'm not very, very smart.
Do you want him to make
Unfortunately.
the nature check?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, it
He
can only
offers
be
to
better
make
than
it.
what I got.
Let's see what he has. We'll see. Okay.
I have a -1 on nature. It's a
Damn.
knowledge skill. It's not a wisdom skill, unfortunately. Although I suppose sometimes you would be able to use wisdom for nature, but
He is
that's dependent on the DM.
okay. He has a +4 to nature, but he's gonna get a.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. He's got at least proficiency.
And I'm gonna say he gets advantage because he literally wanders this forest constantly. I don't even know if he needed it. 18 and a 19 on the die.
Wow.
My dude's popping off. So that is going to be a 23. Jor looks at this. You gotta be fucking kidding me.
Tell me something.
He's looking. Check the water. Look at the water. Look at the water. And he's like backing up from the water.
Do not disturb the water.
Do not disturb the water. He says out loud. And he's like looking around and his eyes are going wide as he sees multiple tree limbs that have been bit off at different directions and angles. Dragon Hydra thingy. What the fuck?
Wonderful.
Could you be more specific?
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't look like it's here. If it came by through here, it means that it's along the river somewhere.
Well then, let us cross with haste and leave this place behind.
No shit, let's go. And I need everybody to make a stealth check as you cross the bridge.
Pass with
Now,
that.
if my stealth says D, does that mean I automatically roll with disadvantage?
Yep.
I got a nat 20.
Oh, look at you.
Nicky. Dragon Man.
Oh, I rolled a natural 20 and then a 6 and then a 14, but I have +2 to stealth, so 22 was the higher one. Disadvantage gives me 16.
Still not bad.
Disadvantage gave me 16 as well.
Damn.
And
Paladin coming through.
I got a 26.
Okay. I'm gonna roll for Jor here.
I got 25, but that was a crit.
I am less stealthy than the huge dragon person. That's great.
You are. How's that make you feel?
Jor got a 17, which he rolled low, but he still got a huge bonus. But yeah,
I'm fine with it, Thelgo. You're surprisingly dainty.
you guys begin to cross carefully. You're looking around at the water. The water is not disturbed as you cross, and carefully, one by one, you jump over on the other side. I need athletics checks from everybody. It's going to be a DC 10.
Would you
Can I
accept
do an
acrobatics?
Athletics or acrobatics, I will allow.
Beautiful.
22.
Do a fucking do a handspring.
You said
Yeah.
DC
Caleb-
10, I
Caleb
beat
gets
the DC.
16.
Oh, thank God.
If you got above a 10,
a-
you're good.
I do a fucking gainer flip with a 24.
Jor, yeah, he's good to go. He like stumbles for a second. He's like,
Like Caleb finds a series of rocks that allows him to kind of parkour across.
Delgor just Hulk jumps. Ooh.
I Hulk jump, but it's not nearly as cool, and I almost fall.
So, yeah, you guys one by one begin to cross over, and as you get to the other side, you are now over Swift Creek. You continue along the road. Or at least not even the road, but past Swift Creek into the forest as the coniferous trees pick up. The swamplands of the Blackwater begin to kind of ease up and fade over the course of time here, and after about another 2.5 hours, you begin to truly be in the forest once more. The hills rising up, the mud beginning to subside, and the sound of frogs and everything like that, much in the distance. And the sound of a more normal forest that greets you. So, as you continue along, eventually your party begins to grow closer and closer to your location. You're looking at the map, cross-referencing your information, and as you do, you begin to pick out the silhouette of a hill. The hill rises up, and as it does, you see like a cut, almost like a canyon in the middle, and above it, the parapets and almost like keep of this tower-like structure. Wrathkeep stands before you in the distance, although it's difficult to see through the trees from here. And to give you a more exact description, let me open things up. Hey now. This
Fair
freaking
enough.
cat.
Get your game on.
So, looming out of the shadowy woods ahead is this haunting sight. Or not even a haunting sight, just a ominous building compared to the trees. It is a structure that is imposing and meant to ward off attackers. This old castle sits on this rocky hillock, and you can capture images of, like I said, the parapets, the bridge that goes across, and yeah, you see an overgrown track that, as you follow the wooded path, you see Jor kind of points out, right, the forest path joins up with the trail up there. That trail goes all the way to the Dawn's Way, so folk can take the Dawn's Way all the way up to Wrath Keep. But if we're going to approach, I say we do it from the woods.
Agreed.
Indeed.
Okay.
A fully exposed frontal assault seems like a foolish maneuver.
Okay. I'm going to pull up the map here.
Oh yeah. More maps. We like maps.
Mhm.
Oop, oop, computer. Don't die.
Yeah.
Computer almost had a stroke. But you guys continue forward and are at the base of the forest. I will allow everybody to make a perception check, if you'd like.
Perception.
It's a little bit cheery.
Oh, nice. Just 10 even.
Oof.
God
6.
damn it.
18.
Fucking 8.
18.
Oh, there we go. Someone had to fucking roll good.
Okay, let me bring you
My
guys.
+0.
Thelgor, as you approach and see the structure of your home, you are reminded of that very night when you were forced to flee. You
Part grimace, part snarl on his face as he looks up at the shadowed parapet.
you see your home once more atop this hill. And that is where I will bring each of you into the board. And it is about noon as you guys get here. And just click on your figurines and it should drag you to where you need to be. this is
Somebody's gonna have to drag Caleb. I don't have a tail spire.
you guys
Oh.
see
Well, man.
before you. Shout out to Tails Tavern for some of these awesome maps. I believe, hold on, I think it was Genghis or DePolo that made this. I'd have to double check.
This is
Shout out to both of you. You're
so
awesome.
many assets.
We're missing somebody. Where's Jor?
Oh yes.
Oh wait.
Jor, please come
So
back.
many assets.
Sorry if your computer's having a stroke.
The sheer amount of individually placed objects on this fucking castle is holy fuck.
Very pretty.
Indeed.
Just so you guys are aware, because I mean, I'm sure most of you probably haven't messed around with building maps in Tailspire.
This
There
is a
are
marble.
no fucking curved stone walls. There are no curved stone walls. Each one of those curves is an individually placed brick, layer by layer. Like, holy shit! This is
This is some
wow.
Minecraft
And
on crack.
Each one of these leaves is like a placed bush, like layered on top of one another, like a million fucking times. None of these trees are like stock. They're all pre-made, like by the person who made this board. Like, god damn, this is immaculate. And also making my computer run really hard. So I'm gonna go ahead and zoom back in on the party and stay on the ground floor for now.
Indeed. So it does help to zoom in. The less assets you have to load in, the better. But you guys see the wall, the scale of it as it rises up, knowing that, you know, what you potentially have to face here.
I'm so glad I bought 100 feet of rope.
So,
Who needs rope?
who needs a rope?
With
Storyboard.
20
People
whatever
without a
strength.
climbing speed.
Why do every one of us have 50 feet of hemp and rope? Where are we getting it? Why are we getting it? Let's see here. But yeah, what would you guys
What
like
really
to do?
sucks too is technically tying rope together makes the rope weaker. Unless you splice it in a very specific manner. I would know.
If you guys would like to
I
approach,
splice rope.
I would like a stealth check. If you guys are trying to get closer to the walls, I will need a stealth check to approach the walls. Anybody can also make a perception check in this moment to actively try to see any threats that might be looming on the walls beyond your vision. You guys are in this clearing that you can see that has a vision up to the top, but for the most part,
I got a nat 1 on my stealth check there.
Oh,
Oh my god.
it almost was a 20, and then it dropped to an 8. So, 8.
okay. Well, Thelgor is rushing forward. Does anybody attempt to stop him?
Yes.
I can try.
I grab him. I'm gonna try to grab him by his tail.
Oh,
Thelgor, you feel like a tug at your tail as you kind of try to rush forward, and you see Voltai
Wait a
with his
moment.
hands out.
Wait.
And Caleb kind of moves forward and like touches his arm and like, we'll do better if we
Perhaps-
go slowly.
Roll the 19 on
allow-
perception.
kill goblin.
Allow us
Kill.
to go ahead as well.
With a 19, James, you know the followers of Tiamat. If anything about your assumptions are correct, it isn't just hobgoblins. You're scanning the tops, looking up, trying to see anything, and you see it at first. Movement. Large. Wings.
I got a 24 on my perception as well.
Those 24 and a 19, I mean, yeah. You see at the top of one of the towers, its claws beginning to rise up.
And I got a 21 on my stealth.
And it begins to sleep. You see a manticore. I believe, yes.
Ooh,
Ugh.
Manticore.
that is curled up at the top of one of the towers that you can only just see from this angle. And you can barely see it. You're like looking up. The only thing you can really see from this angle is the walls, the various protective parapets and
Damn this
parapets.
disadvantage.
What now?
Damn this disadvantage on stealth.
Yeah, it's pretty rough.
Uh,
Got to get some mithril gear, dog.
yeah, no joke.
Yeah, but
You said you guys were going to
so
intend to scout forward. What does Caleb and James intend to do, as well as Thelgor, while your companions do this?
I'm
I
just gonna
rolled
okay.
poorly on stealth, so I'm just gonna stay back.
Yeah,
Elgor is
I'm
chomping
gonna.
at the bit. He wants to. He
I'm just
wants to
gonna.
go.
Caleb is just gonna try to keep Thalgor calm while we scout.
Okay. You guys...
You guys might want to speak to the tree line.
Jor nods. Right, I mean, you guys will be roughly safe. Just do not move. I'm serious. Keep down. And he's going to move forward with you.
Yeah, I'll probably just go prone in a bush here, like just chill. 'Cause
Absolutely.
I'm
You guys go
loud.
prone in a bush. What is that? What's Caleb's doing as well?
Sure.
Elgor will emulate. He'll like look at them both and like slowly lower himself to the ground.
Jor begins to like dart behind a tree, and then
Ooh, I got an
curve
even better
around.
idea.
Make a stealth check, Boltai. Natural 20 for Jor.
I can.
You don't even
I
see him.
can. Just so you were aware as well. There is a wild or wood elf feature called Mask of the Wild that allows you to attempt to hide even when only lightly obscured by any natural phenomena. So I can basically be standing kind of like in just the middle of nowhere as long as there's fucking sort of shrubbery around in between me and the person that's trying to perceive me.
Beautiful.
But I digress. Allow me to roll this stealth check.
Jor makes himself known to you, but to anybody else, he is a miss. He is gone. Natural 20 on his check.
My
And
shit is so wildly fucking. I'm rolling high on stuff and then like dreadfully low on stuff. Like nothing in the middle. Nothing in the middle at all. Holy shit! I only rolled a 9.
only a 9. Okay, well, that's going to even out. I'll probably say that's a 15 total because he rolled a nat 20. So you go to like step on a stick and he grabs you and pulls you back and like holds your mouth or holds your helm. And just creeps along. And as you guys creep along, you kind of curve around the edge of the keep. And as we do that, we're actually going to go to break for about 10 minutes before you guys take on planning things. So as you and Jor approach, seeing the ominous keep before you and potentially trying to figure out how to infiltrate this space, we're going to come back in 10 minutes and see how our players figure this conundrum out. How do they take on Vrath Keep and its inhabitants and potentially find this vault and the treasures within? So we'll see you in 10, and we'll catch you in a sec. Okay, and we are back. Welcome back to the stream. We have gathered ourselves and our beverages and snacks, and we continue in the forest with Jor and Voltai, who have branched away from the party to scout out the side of this cliff and see what the heck's going on. Jor and Voltai, what is the intention here?
So I'm looking to see if I can find like a low spot while sticking to under the canopy
You
as best as I can, at least.
You guys slip through silently. Under the watch of Jor, you guys are careful and considerate of the terrain around you, and eventually look up the cliff to see on this side, and you see the lowest part of this building yet. You see what looks to be a scale cliff that rises up, and some sort of balcony where the very tops of the trees, the leaves meet the edge, but that would be an amount of climbing that would be very precarious. You're talking about balancing of, the human form on very thin branches.
And it measures at about 45 feet up.
Indeed. About 45, 50 feet up.
So, realistically, we could suspend a rope from this point and be able to climb it.
Potentially. Oh, did the terrain get lost here? Ooh. Yeah, potentially. It will be difficult going if you're going to make your way up, but once you're at the top, if you anchor a rope there, that's definitely an escape point for you.
And above table, Thelgor is really good at climbing. I could probably climb the rock face and bring the rope up and drop it down.
It would just be a matter of getting him and the others close enough to get this done.
Yeah. Fuck, man! I should have thought about it. I would have gotten a grappling hook.
And you guys don't have mountain climbing gear or pythons, so this is going to be very, very interesting.
Well, Thelgor could just hold the rope up there.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, Thelgor could definitely do that. I think with your carry weight, you could just very much just hold your arm out and carry them. Just do that.
Hold on. Caleb has a python in his bag.
Oh. Okay. So technically, just one of them.
That's what.
Okay.
I
would say
that's what it says.
That pythons are not the way to go here. You have to hammer them shits into the stone.
That's gonna make noise.
That will be very loud. What my thought is that maybe instead of engaging now, we continue just with the initial plan of recon, gathering up as much information on how to get in and everything like that as possible. Where it seems like things are hiding, it's good that we know now they have a manticore, stuff like that. And we'll have to return back to town and commission your father to either make us or sell us, if he already has one, a grappling hook. And then we can just toss that motherfucker up real silent-like and climb via the rope when we come back.
So your intention is to go all the way back to town?
That's terrible.
Not yet. I mean,
as a contingency.
We came here to recon it. We came here to recon this place, not necessarily assault the whole place. Other than that, I mean, we only have loud manners of going in right now.
It's up to you.
was gonna say, pass without trace. You could get me to the wall, and then we could climb.
I do not have pass without trace.
Oh, I thought you said the first game that you did.
No. I said, I mean, I will eventually,
Yes, you will.
but it's a second level spell, and while we are level 5, yes, I am one level of cleric, and so I am level 4 ranger and don't have second level spells yet.
Just ruined everything. Okay.
To just ruin the whole plan. No,
I never said that I had pass without trace.
well, it's a pretty high level. That's a 3rd level spell, so that's some dedication.
No, it's only second level.
Really? No way.
Yeah. It's just that rangers get their spells at half speed.
Yeah, Jor.
Fucking yeah. Druids end up with fucking pass without trace at level 3, dog.
Jor is a ranger rogue combo, so he's not like.
Yeah, he's not gonna have it.
Yeah, he does not.
So I mean,
My mixology career.
we could instead of just like leaving with our tail between our legs right now and going straight back to town, we could wait until we see like a hunting party or something like that leave and then take them out on the way back to the town so that there's less forces to deal with when we come back.
Okay.
But your whole thinking for going back is to get a grappling hook to get up the wall, right?
Silently, yeah, so we can actually infiltrate this place.
But I mean, like, if we wait a while, you do your scouting of the facility, we make a new stealth roll. If I can make it to the wall and stealth up, I can climb that wall. It's not going to be a problem.
What's wild about Thelgor and the skills he's taken, he's surprisingly good at sneaking up. You've noticed, for such a big guy, he tends to like be able to like carry his weight very evenly, and
that's from a lifetime of being self-conscious of his size among smaller people.
I'm not.
You're getting blurred out.
Question: Can Elagos not fly up and
No,
tie the rope off his leg?
he is still too small. His wings are not capable of flight yet.
Speaking,
Um,
did you leave
he
Elagos
will-
back?
No, I mean he comes with me everywhere he goes, everywhere Voltai is. He's just always out.
Yeah, who knows what else you might discover during the scouting mission right now too.
Yeah, I mean I'm thinking purely how we can be most effective at eliminating this threat without endangering the citizens by having them like join in on a major assault that we didn't clear the way of at all.
So I say we continue to scout. If we see any type of scouting, hunting, warring party leave the keep, we can follow that group, attack them, take all but one of them out, and that one can tell us what's inside the keep.
And perhaps investigate alternative entrances.
Mm-hmm.
So the two ideas that are on the table, just to sum up what I've heard so far. Idea number 1, Thelgor climbs up the side, attempts to make a stealth check and tie everything off, and give you access into the lowest portion to where you guys could potentially stealth through, and from there, your options would be potentially slowly taking them out and making your way towards the vault, maybe, or potentially taking out Wormlord Koth, which was the individual you were told about, this sorcerer, from the interrogation with that hobgoblin that you so viciously smashed the eye out of.
And then the other one being wait for a war party to leave, take them out, reducing the garrison level, and interrogate one further that we know specifically came from this place and will have information about it. Because we could just go straight in right now. I don't doubt Thelgor's ability to climb this or stealth through it. My only thought is we are going in completely blind.
Yeah, we have no idea what's in there
I mean, you know the layout. Which
other
is
than the
good.
mountain and the manticore.
So, you guys know the layout. It is essentially the layout of this entire keep is it's got winding passages and is rather large. But the central keep is where that massive spire in the center is. Specifically, this central keep right here that I'm pointing at is where it is assumed that these bedrooms to like the more royal or noble individuals, not royal but noble individuals were living. The parapets are likely, being patrolled. How often? You're not sure. Those movements are cut off. You do know they have a manticore, which is massive. So you guys are going to have to keep your eye on the sky. Other than that, essentially what you have come to find, and give me just a moment, everybody. I'm going to flip us over to our normal view before I do this, because I'm going to hide a bunch of things really quickly.
Oops.
Oh yeah, the pitfalls of streaming Tailspire as the DM.
You all know that it is a rather straightforward design. The gatehouse, which sits on the top portion of the hill, protects from the main road, which you know where the Dawn is where the Dawn's Way connects. From your blueprints, you know that the gatehouse is probably well fortified, and from there, the blueprints had seemed, because you guys made some checks for this, seems to indicate some sort of winch that was used for supplies that was lowered, so that way when caravans would roll in, they could lower supplies to the lower sections of the keep. From the upper portion still, you could go around another bridge, which there's a bunch of them. I'm gonna mix everything around. I don't know if we'll even get to everything tonight, but yeah. BK, have it your way. I'm gonna mix them up. Where they were, they're not gonna be anymore.
I mean, we can't see anyone anyway.
Yeah.
unless you're watching through the stream.
But you know that across that bridge there is another tower, another watchtower that leads into what looks to be some sort of stables and other gatehouse. It seems that this is like a double gated sort of thing. So once you get through the main gatehouse, you still yet have to cross the main bridge to get towards the main keep. There's other entrances into the main keep, but those are very well protected and guarded. And yeah, once it does, you basically follow upstairs and a section of passages. The lower section is a little bit more varied. There is a stage present, which seems to have like multiple guest quarters within it for servants and people that worked within the staff. There's an armory section for the guards that were stationed here, as well as the interior portions for some of the storehouses and relaxation. There was an entire kitchen area that was a part of it, as well as kind of like a massive cellar where everything was stored. Other than that, the landing that you guys know about, that you're planning on, comes up at the lowest portion of the keep. I mean, the very lowest portion of where the ground would be accessible. And it actually winds its way into the central courtyard where all of those lower buildings go. So if you guys climb up, you are well aware that this ledge will wind you into the central courtyard where a lot of the lower buildings are, including into the kitchens, including into the performative section. There's also a couple of like stairways and access to the lift. So if you guys went up, you would immediately have access to the lift, potentially climbing yourself, and you could potentially get like a vantage of who's stationed at the gatehouse and how many forces are looking in through the gatehouse. If you decided to do that, and if you were stealthy enough, you could potentially wind your way up carefully through the structure via the kitchens and all of the internals of the keep.
You see my my little plot.
That too. And yeah, you are well aware that from the storehouse, because you guys would get up on that ledge where the bottom of where you're pointing, that door leads into a cellar, and that cellar leads up to a door that goes to the kitchens. And then it also leads up once more into a secondary cellar and storage area. So it's very much where you guys are going to be popping up is like where they store barrels of alcohol and various dry supplies. What's up?
Food here. I'm just gonna grab it real quick.
You're all good.
Do it.
Do it.
Okay. So yeah, so I mean, basically that path leads us to the bottom of the main keep, and as if we could travel up it, then we would eventually get to the warlord.
If that's the intention.
Yeah, but I don't want to have to fight 70 fucking hobgoblins to do it.
No, me
Yeah,
neither.
that's
Me
easy.
neither. And we could potentially, depending on how we play it, maybe be able to get even higher up without having to go inside of the building.
Ooh.
The great thing about being on such a precarious place is I could just start yeeting hobgoblins off.
Just, whoa.
It'd be like
Oh yeah.
2 goblins a turn, just going off the
Whoa.
edge, right?
Dig in. Damn. Yeah, then that's a decent amount of fall damage. That's 4d6 fall damage.
So if they survive, they have to climb
Well,
back
I'm,
up. To
right,
engage
I'm taking a shot from Delaware. That's 4d6 fall damage.
Depending on how high up we are, it could be even fucking more.
Oh yeah, and he gets to
Because
attack
I
still.
think-
So if he doesn't just outright kill him with the damage.
So from the
Rough.
like up like the wall up here that I was talking about having us or roughly having us move up to the ground is 83 feet.
Oh my god, that's 8d6. That's a lot of damage. What?
And it only goes up from there.
So.
The higher,
By
higher
the
up
by
we
the
go.
way, I've been looking into the damage my character can do. Oh, you better hope I don't roll a critical on any bosses.
Bruh.
Yeah, the Eldritch Smites are
Yeah.
baller.
And not only that, it's like I think are you taking Thirsting Blade?
I already took it.
Oh. Thirsting Blade with what is it? There's Thirsting Blade, there's another one that you can take. Life Drinker, I think it's called.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have that yet, but it's on my list.
Bro, Hex Blades are mean. So. Lots of conjecture, lots of ideas.
We know the general layout. We've got the blueprints. We've scouted it out a decent amount. We could still scout the other side and see, like, do that to be able to maybe look for their patterns. But I mean, I'm with Mike on this one. I don't want to go in there with 70 guys and not like this as stealthy as we can possibly be. I would prefer to take some of them out in the forest and lessen their forces in the keep.
Why don't we meet in the middle? Why don't we do? We wait for expedition to leave, shadow them, kill them in the forest, then come back and take the keep.
I will say, I think we rolled for this earlier. Oh, there goes my camera.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Man down.
Oh no.
Come back.
Okay.
Oh, this is awkward.
Maybe. What? Okay.
¿Por qué?
Okay, I'll restart the app.
Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, technical difficulties.
On the table, can't hurt to scout more, right? Find out more intel.
Agreed. I don't know if it's prudent for us to be walking around the edge of the keep looking for anything we can find. Right? More eyes moving around could lead to more information,
I mean,
but
above
it could
the
also
table,
lead to being
Also,
discovered.
I'll tell you right now, Thelgor is not leaving. Now that he's back here, you guys can head on back to town, but Thelgor is not doing it.
Can you guys still hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Very weird. Very, very weird. Give me just a moment, y'all. My phone's deciding to have some technical difficulties. Which is...
While you're working on those technical difficulties,
Sorry, everybody that's
I'm
watching.
gonna go ahead and grab something from the microwave.
There we go.
I would think too that usually there's
Beautiful.
some sort of back way or hidden exit or entrance that nobles would use to escape.
Like an emergency escape, yeah.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
And it would probably be down here.
Yeah, theoretically, it would lead to
Where?
to the forest floor, where they can just walk away or run away or whatever.
So, you guys looked at the map. I believe you had gotten like something else. I will allow this. This was on a different day. If you guys are trying to see any secret passages or anything like that, I will allow an investigation check. But are you guys moving back to your companions?
I think so for now. We're at a vantage point where we're able to see most of this side of the keep. I want to make like one after, it's been a little while now. I kind of want to make one final perception check just to see if I can spy like where guards might be posted and where they're moving around, what walls they're patrolling.
Going with your perception check from earlier, just continuing it forward with the 24, because you've been like keeping you're peeled. I won't even ask for another one. That's really high. It's your character probably hasn't taken his eyes off of everything. You have seen a guard, like what you imagine to be a guard. It's a silhouette of a humanoid figure that is like leaning over, and then kind of leans back.
And where do I see this?
At the top of that overhang, or that like right over here.
Aha, okay, right there. Gotcha. Yeah, so nighttime is probably a good idea as well. It's the middle of the broad daylight.
You also see like along here.
I like that idea of waiting until nightfall. That's a good idea.
Along
Because
there.
that'll put a lot of people in, like, a lot of the potential guards could be sleeping at that point.
Precisely.
Yeah, you've seen them posted up.
Yeah. There's a lot of them. They're all up in there. We definitely want to wait for night. We want to try to take some out, like do everything we can to limit the amount of hobgoblins that are going to come hauling ass at us once the alarm starts getting sounded.
Okay. So you guys are waiting till nightfall.
And,
I thought we were going to study the blueprints again.
Yes.
Right, I thought
we can come
maybe.
meet back up together.
Okay.
Study the blueprints a little bit while waiting for a war band or a patrol or something like that to exit and then try to intercept. But
Each of you
making
are
use of the time to observe.
It's confusing. As you're looking through, I would say the most confusing thing about these blueprints, because typically blueprints are clear cut and this has purposely been made to confuse. It seems like things have been X'd out and then you're not sure if it's very much like
gated.
Yeah.
Maybe not even completely accurate.
Exactly. I will say make an investigation check or I will say this is an investigation check to try to detect any secret passages that might lead in.
All right. Maybe we all do it just to fucking see who gets the highest on the die.
What is this check for again?
Oh man, it's fucking literally cocked in the corner of my screen. And
It's a check
the two
to see if there's any secret passages.
15.
15.
Not bad.
Investigation, you said?
Yep.
Got one of the weirdest cases
11.
ever of digital cocked dice, and so I got a 16 on my second roll.
Okay. So, you all look at this map and you're trying to discern. There's no obvious exit other than the front gate. It's as you're looking at it, it occurs to you this keep is older than the family that took Thelgor in. And potentially there were more blueprints. If there was an escape, that might have been lost to time. Or never existed in the first place.
Thelgor, can you think back? Do you remember any alternative exits in the keep?
Nope.
Ah.
What door?
Last.
Front door.
Yeah, typically, yeah.
Well, if there's only one way in and one way out, then we know where to lay an ambush for a warband.
And it occurs to you that's probably what got this place in trouble in the first place.
Yeah, for sure. They couldn't get out and they were just blocked in from a horde of fucking hobgoblins that came bursting through the one entrance. So I think perhaps
Okay, so if there's only one entrance and exit and the hobgoblins took it over, how did Thelgor get out?
By jumping out the back.
Yeah, Thelgor, you're looking at it. Make a history check with advantage.
That's Mike or me?
Thelgor.
History with advantage? Oh. Wow. 8.
Oh no.
You're looking at the walls and everything. You're like, I remember climbing down and then falling down a bit.
Yeah, that tracks. I personally pictured Thelgor just taking a flying leap and just like superhero fucking landing down into the fucking dirt below.
That's probably what happened. I'll say that's definitely probably what happened. Thelgor, all you remember was just just eyes, just razor points, just slashing at everything you could get your hands on. But eventually, the arrows, the forces of them pushing against you, and mainly, Thelgor, you remember something big hitting you. You're like, with an 8, you're like, I'm not sure what it was. It was big. It hurt a lot.
Big, it hurt a lot, yeah.
Big, it hurt a lot. So.
Manticore?
Maybe.
Probably.
Maybe.
That could be Scorpion.
You guys were told that it wasn't only a manticore that Wormlord Koth had at his disposal. Karkalon, the Minotaur.
Indeed. Well, might I suggest that we make our way back up to where the Dawn's Path meets this fortress, lie in wait with an ambush.
Gotcha.
Sounds like the most effective plan right now, so yes.
So you guys are gonna go up and attempt to set up an ambush along the Dawn's, or where the road meets the Dawn's Way.
Yes.
Okay. As you guys pull away, I need everybody to roll a stealth check as you begin to exit the outskirts of Wrathkeep.
22.
10.
24.
Not bad with disadvantage. 10.
You guys all got really high. So did Jor. You all begin to curve around, seeing that the hill maneuvers its way around. It'll take roughly a quarter of a mile to curve all the way back around where the road meets, but eventually you'll be able to. Over the next, I would say, 30 or so minutes, being careful, looking out, you guys begin to set up an ambush. And while I get all that ready, we'll just go to our normal screen.
As we're setting up, I want to be on the lookout for like some birds or small critters.
So, make a perception check. You're looking out for like small creatures and critters. You hear them within the forest. It's a very bustling forest.
Right. Yeah. I'm sure they're. I can hear them all over the place. I'm specifically looking for some in the nearby vicinity.
Absolutely.
Within a close enough distance to hear my voice. And I rolled a 22.
Yeah, there's absolutely birds close by. You see a sparrow. You see like what looks to be like a hawk's nest that's like kind of wedged up at the top of one tree, where you see one that's just like perched up, just.
Well, I don't necessarily want to interrupt a hawk and his chill life. It feels a little disrespectful to request something of a hawk. So I am going to briefly, I just make like a quick couple motions, and I look to the sparrow, and anyone who's nearby me, like kind of watching as I'm doing this, would then also hear me as I look towards the sparrow and utter a series of squeaks and chirps that sound exactly like it as it was chirping on its branch. And I'm casting Speak with Animals, and am going to call out, "Little fellow, would you come down here, please?"
What?
He floats down. What do you want?
Me and my companions here are intent on getting rid of the hobgoblins who have been
What are those?
traipsing through these forests. Big, red, angry men.
Oh. Well, what
In the
does that have to do with
nearby-
me?
I would humbly ask that you keep an eye out nearby their keep and return should you
What's
see
that?
them on the move. Big stone house.
Got it. Big stone house. What's a house?
If you see your nest is a house.
Oh.
If you see big red men leaving big stone nest, please return to me and let us know.
I just took out a lease on my on my nest. Make a persuasion check.
I will protect
Mortgage
your
life on
nest
that
for you.
nest.
Make a persuasion check.
Can I do animal handling? It's when you open it up, it says wisdom allows you to calm or
Sure.
train an animal or get an animal to behave in a certain way.
Sure, animal handling check. Little birds, little birds.
Oh, come on, bro! It literally it leaned over to 12 on the die and then fell back on 2.
Look, I'm
so-
sorry. I just took out this lease. It's a lot. I feel like if I abandon my responsibilities at home, it's gonna take me on an adventure and just eventually end my life for no good reason because I'm a scout in some war party. So I don't think that's the involvement I'd like to have. You might try Keith, and he points up towards the sparrow or the hawk at the top, who's just like,
Well, thank you for your suggestion nonetheless, and I hope that you maintain dry feathers.
and may your feathers be dry as well. And he floats off.
I'm going to, I suppose, with the rest of the time I have on my spell, turn my attention to the hawk
Keith.
and the hawk Keith and caw like they do.
What do you want? The hawk's like eyes are like bugging out as it looks over.
No, Noble Keith, your sparrow neighbor has recommended you as a exceptional scout.
Do you have any bones? I like bones.
Bones, you say?
Oh, give me a bone. Throw me a bone.
Throw me a bone.
Give me a freaking bone
Throw me
here.
a
Yeah.
frickin' bone, man.
How about many fresh bones?
Ooh,
In a
do they have
few
meat on
in-
them?
Indeed.
Oh, I'll do it.
Well, the big red men in the large stone nest.
Hmm.
If you see them coming this way, let us know. We will
Yes.
slay them, and you can eat and feast for days.
If a bird could go catatonically psychopathic, it happens for a moment. You're wondering about his eyes go wide and you see like a bloodlust in a bird that you're like, is this normal? Is this a normal hawk? What did I? He's like, I'll
What
do
have I
it.
done?
I'll do it for free. You don't have to pay me anything. Just access to the bones. That's all I ask. Access to the bones, access to the meat.
I will let you know when you return. I will not be able to understand you, but I will take your return as a sign that the big red men are coming.
Wait. How do you... You want to be able to understand me? Why? I don't get it. Why would you not be able to understand me? This makes no sense to me. Hold on.
I lagged out so hard for a second, right as you were saying that.
But he's just like, bones. As long as you can promise bones, that's it. Bones and meat. Bones and meat. We got a deal. And he puts out a feather or feathered wing. almost to shake your hand.
Hi.
You're like, what the fuck? And Jor, who's standing next to you, he's just like, this doesn't feel right. This fucking forest never ceases to surprise me. I'm gonna go about 60 feet that way. And he begins to...
I've got him. I suppose he's probably like come down while I'm talking to him. I've got him on my wrist, and I just like put my finger up and do a little tickle in his wing. You will have plenty bones and meat.
Bones and meat.
Bones and meat.
Bones and meat.
Such is the nature of all things.
Hmm.
And the sign
All
of
the
cycle
bones
of
and
life.
meat you can ever want. Oceans of bone. Oceans of meat.
We will be here
What's that?
as soon as you see them exiting their keep, or as soon as you see them exiting their stone nest. Come return to me.
Make a persuasion check with advantage. Because you've promised...
Do you mean animal handling check with
yes,
advantage?
sorry. Make an animal handling check with advantage because you have you've essentially said to Keith that you will promise him bones and meat. And
Alright, I got a 17.
and you hear him just like, bones and meat, and he like screams and just and like screams upward. You see you see the sparrow is like, what the fuck, Keith, what the hell? And he like goes back to his nest and like shields it. A couple of the other birds like scatter, and he just full flees, has a psychopathic meltdown as he realizes his job.
Hell yeah.
And goes towards the stone nest to look for the red men.
Hell yeah.
So as the bird flies off, Caleb, having worked with Volte before, but still not understanding any animal, he just looks at him and goes, "Did you do that thing again?"
I'm not sure I know what you're talking about.
For
Why
all
is
of
Volty making weird sounds?
The whole control animals thing, it's really fascinating but weird.
yeah, you guys from an external point of view saw a hawk actively use its wing to shake his hand and then proceed to have a meltdown, some sort of like spasm. It screamed out loudly for whatever reason, and this like weird honking noise which hawks don't usually make, and proceeded to just yeet itself in a direction as fast as it could, in a
All
way
the
that you're just like,
while-
what?
Doesn't have
All
rabies,
the
does it?
while, Volti was also making
Jesus.
hawk
Squeaking
noises.
noises to communicate.
Yeah.
Which is why Caleb, did you do that thing again?
No, weird at all.
His name was Keith, and he will aid us in our mission.
Keith. Interesting name for a bird.
And Caleb turns to
surprised.
walk away. Caleb turns to walk away. It's like water deep all over again.
It's like water deep all over again.
I too was surprised. Keith is not a normal name for a hawk.
As long as it works.
As long as it works.
The two of you guys are probably like, "What the fuck is this guy for real?" Like,
Just making like clicking and squawking noises. So you guys set yourselves up, and hold up, let me look at something here. So, as you guys set yourself up for an ambush, looking at the road ahead, Elagos at your side, Voltai, and the rest of you preparing in your own way, you see Jor has made himself disappear, essentially. Which is all the better to you all as you all prepare yourselves. The hours drag on. And as the night grows long, I believe that's all the time we have. Because Isaiah has to go a little bit early tonight, I think, right?
Next time.
Yeah, I have like 5-10 minutes.
Well, we're not gonna be able to do this whole ambush in 5-10 minutes.
Yeah.
So,
So, what we're going to do is end there tonight. For anybody that watched, thank you. We're going to pick up next Friday at 8 p.m. Central Time. And you can also watch us on Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Central Time, where we're going to be doing a run-through of Baldur's Gate 3. We're on our second session. You can see me get frustrated about the prone rules, and 2 Dragonborn mess things up in real time. So we're going to do our best to get through the campaign in the most destructive way possible.
Romancers.
Indeed, I'm playing an Oath of the Crown Paladin mixed with the Draconic Sorcerer, and Cody's playing a full Draconic Sorcerer, so a lot of fire. But yeah, join us then. It has been the Red Hand of Doom, and as we have planned through everything, thank you, and we'll see you next week. Bye.